I want you to get on the horn and talk this guy down. You'll have to talk him onto the approach. And so help me, you'll have to talk him right down to the ground.
Lunchtime is over.
What's that?
DK's mine.
I see you've played knifey spoony before. Hey!
What's up everyone, it's Adam from FWCI, and if you didn't guess from the little clip that I showed at the beginning of this video, this is a reaction to the movie that Airplane is basically a shot-for-shot remake of the 1957 disaster movie 0 Hour. Now some of you may be aware of this, some of you may not be aware that Airplane is basically a complete copy of an older movie that was meant to be completely serious, and I've never seen it. I'm a massive fan of the Airplane movie. I love watching people's reactions to it. I tried to do a reaction to Awkward Ashley watching Airplane and it did okay, but I just want to be a reactor that has an Airplane reaction, and this is a pretty good way for me to do it. Again, I can't stress enough how firmly this movie sits on my #1 movies of all time list. There's a reason I've got Dr. Rumack right here. In fact, I might be getting on like a TV show, quiz show, where I have to answer questions about this. More on that at another time, I guess, but it's still in early stages, but that is how much I love this movie. So subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't already. This will be going up on Patreon early, patreon.com/FWCI. There will be no full-length reaction for this movie because honestly, it's really difficult to find. I found it on some movie archive website and it's just on here in its entirety with no ads. I don't know what that means because I couldn't find it on any streaming sites, but we're about to watch the movie that made my favorite movie of all time possible, 1957's 0 Hour.
Stryker went for the vital target. Too late, he realized his mistake. Blinded by the fog, 6 of Stryker's men crashed into the German countryside.
So this is the mission. This is the mission that we never see. Alright, this movie starts off a lot drier than a argument about abortions.
It's really the only sensible thing to do if it's done properly. Therapeutically, there's no danger involved.
By the way, fun fact, because I'm deep into trivia about this movie, about the movie Airplane I should say, but those two people, the actual voice announcement people at LAX at the time. And they were married. There's going to be a lot of trivia in this to fill out all the boring nonsense in between the jokes that I get.
Because of my mistake, 6 men didn't return from that raid.
What's the good of condemning yourself?
What about Lieutenant Zip? Did he return?
Good luck, Stryker.
What kind of medical testing does pressing your thumb on someone's forehead do?
After they're cleared for the kind of highly classified government work we're doing, yes.
What is it? My war record again?
No, not really.
You're the only one keeping that alive, Ted. By the way, there was a scene back there with the... I don't know if the file was messed up or if it was just the editing, but I thought all my audio was out of sync. But I think it was actually how the movie was. It was rough. The wife left him. Alright, better run to the airport, Ted, and board that plane and talk about your drinking problem, I guess. Oh, wait, she's not a stewardess? She's just leaving? Oof.
When do we take off, Mom?
Oh, any minute now, dear. They've almost finished loading the baggage.
Wait, and she's got the kid with him as well? Wow. Well, at least this aeroplane actually has propellers on it. Unlike the one in Airplane, which is a jet engine, but for some reason sounds like... Oh, here's our boys. Okay, so old mate there on the left, I believe, if they're doing this shot for shot, that guy was an NFL player, which is why they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to play the co-captain in Airplane. They just wanted a professional athlete as a way of referencing this movie and its cast. Why were they so obsessed with this movie? Like, it's such a random movie for them to, like, zero in so much focus on, to be like, that's the one that we're going to just rip to shreds. Stryker, you're too low! Ease her down! Down!
I haven't been up for a long time. Would you like some Dramamine?
Dramamine? That sounds like something that's banned now, I feel like. People in the comments, let me know what Dramamine is. It sounds familiar, maybe it's still around.
Ellen, I've got to talk to you. Joey can sit in my seat back there.
I just don't...
Joey, just stay away from the cockpit, whatever you do.
How'd you like to go up in the cockpit, Joey?
Could we?
I'll check with the stewardess and see if they'll let us up there.
Run, Joey, run!
Temperature's creeping up again on number 3, Bill.
Yeah, he's definitely an NFL player.
Still running a little hot.
Running a little bit hot, Bill. That kid's wearing the same, like, big collared look as Joey in the other movie.
I'll be serving dinner pretty soon. We have a choice tonight, grilled halibut or lamb chops.
I'll try the fish. It was pretty good last week.
Same for me, Jan.
No! Don't do it! Don't have the fish! Have the lasagna!
Joey, here's something we give our special visitors. Would you like to have it?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You ever been in the cockpit before?
No, sir. I've never been up in a plane before.
How do you like it?
Swell.
Okay. I was on the edge of my seat then.
You want me to check the weather, Bill?
No, I'll get it. Excuse me.
We better get back now.
That's a line. Want me to check the weather, Clarence? Oh, why don't you do it?
Well, Joey, what do you think of all this? Would you like to grow up and be a pilot like your dad?
By the way, apparently, old mate who played Captain Over, Peter Graves, not a fan of some of the dialogue he had to say in this movie, and rightly so. But apparently on set, he was pretty bothered by a lot of it.
I remember how you used to hold me. And then afterwards how we watched until the sun finally came up.
Okay, no face wriggling in this one.
So many things to make love last. Most of all, it takes respect. I can't live with a man I don't respect.
So, that's why that line is so friggin' harsh. Because it's just ripped out of this movie.
I believe I'll have the meat, miss.
And so will I.
Say, why don't you come to the big game with us tomorrow? It should be a good one, you know.
Oh, I don't know anything about football.
Well, you'll be right at home with my two friends here. They don't know anything about it either.
Oh, I can hardly believe that.
Oh, Randy, you flirt.
This chap goes way out into the flat where he can take off fast or go long. That's what they call a flanker. And you just cannot defense against it.
What the hell sport is that guy even talking about?
How you and that boyfriend of yours doing back there? You think you'll ever get him to the altar?
I'll get him there if I have to drag him every inch of the way. After all, remember, I've been trained for every kind of emergency. How's the fish?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Hang on, who is he talking about? Is she engaged in this one? I thought she was 26 years old and not married. Another fun fact, the line, I'm 26 years old and I'm not married, from that Randy says in Airplane, Eminem used it in a song of his called My Fault. And I love it because it's one of my favorite songs and it's one of my favorite lines.
Between you and me, I have some fairly nice wagers on the contest tomorrow.
Oh, well, I wish you a lot of luck.
Well, thank you.
All right, you gambling addicts.
Would you care for a drop, madam?
Certainly not.
Certainly not. No, she's not going to do any coke? Damn. What is this?
Patty, we're on an airplane. There are other people with us, remember?
He's not joining our act now, is he, Tony? You know I work alone.
Oh, stop.
Wow, I'm amazed that there are scenes in this movie that are still too ridiculous to include in a movie like Airplane.
A little kiss.
Not now, later.
He's got a one-track mind, just like me.
Oh, Patty, you're
Oh, this is the guy sitting next to him. Right. I thought that was Stryker. I was like, holy shit. This version of Stryker is... does he have multiple personalities?
My stomach. I've never felt anything like it before. Help me. Please help me.
Just a moment, I'll get you some Dramamine. The woman passengers is very sick.
They're sick?
I think so, but I've never seen it so acute.
If you love Airplane, you've heard this dialogue millions of times.
714 to ATC, thank you.
That was solid acting. Crazy Legs, whatever your name is. His nickname was Crazy Legs, I swear to God. Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to have to wake you. Are you a doctor?
That's right.
We have a passenger who's very sick.
He's not wearing his stethoscope? Damn it.
My boy is sick to his stomach. It's like air sickness, only it's a lot worse. I've never seen anything like it before.
Well, this gentleman's a doctor.
I'll be with you in a moment. Try to keep him as quiet as you can.
All right, Ben.
Trying to keep him as quiet as you can. Oh, God. The 50s, man. This movie's been pretty tame for the 50s. Haven't seen any casual violence towards women or casual racism or anything.
How's the pain there?
No.
There.
A lot of white people on this plane, though, now that I look closer. I don't think we're going to get any jive talk in this one.
Bacon and poached eggs for breakfast, a roast beef sandwich at noon, and dinner on the plane.
Damn, Joey, you eating good.
Thank you.
I'll be back in a minute.
If I was the doctor, I'd be like, that roast beef sandwich sounds like a high suspect.
Well, the main course was meat or fish.
Yes, I remember I had meat.
Not lasagna?
Do you know what she had for dinner?
Well, yes, of course. We both had fish. Why?
Oh, it's nothing to be alarmed about. We'll get back to you very quickly.
So, the woman who has that interaction in Airplane, she did the Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home. Apparently, she was actually in the original commercial for that coffee brand that they were parodying. That they were parodying, whatever. And they didn't even know that she was from the original commercial.
Jim never had seconds of my coffee. And I make pretty good coffee.
Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home.
Is that some clever foreshadowing right there? This movie's just making me want a director's cut of Airplane so bad.
I don't want another plane in the air. I don't care what the commitments are. Charter Flight 714 is in trouble. Food poisoning. I can't go into detail now, but it's coming in without a co-pilot.
This movie is so friggin' old. The way these guys are talking. Where's Rex Kramer coming into this?
Just gotta fight it off.
Oh my god, they're trying to keep the captain going in this one? I guess there's no inflatable autopilot that they can lean on for a little while.
Doctor. I'm glad you're here.
Why are you just going to leave this potentially food-poisoned pilot in the cockpit alone?
The boy's in an awful lot of pain. Can you do anything for him?
He'll be asleep before long. Keep him quiet and warm. That's your job.
Why is this doctor's advice to keep him quiet? You shut that kid up, alright?
I had the blinking fish.
Well, here, take these pills. They'll make you sick.
Fine, how do you do this is? They give you your dinner and come around and ask for it back.
That was funny.
Unless I can get all these people to a hospital quickly, I can't even be sure of saving their lives.
I don't understand. What is it?
That's not important. What is important?
Oh, man. I'm hearing so much of the DNA of Airplane.
Is there anybody else on board who can land this plane? The life of everybody aboard depends on just one thing. Finding someone back there who not only can fly this plane, but who didn't have fish for dinner.
This is making me so happy.
Do you understand, Janet?
Yes, Doctor.
And make sure that kid is quiet as well. And if he's not quiet, make him quiet. So I don't know if this works out. I probably wouldn't, because Stryker would have probably been deployed somewhere. But in my head canon now, Joey is Stryker's illegitimate child in Airplane.
It's a different kind of flying altogether.
It's a different kind of flying. The score is very similar, but not identical. I was kind of hoping that it would be the exact same music that we hear in the movie Airplane.
Ted, what are you doing? You can't fly this plane.
That's what I've been trying to tell these people, Ellen.
Your husband is the only hope we've got.
But he's...
If we're going to come through this, he's going to need some faith from all of us. Including you. Do I make myself clear, Mrs. Stryker?
Of course, it's the 50s, so this is just another You're Wrong Woman movie.
This is going to be tough. So if you want to go back with the others...
I'll stay.
All right.
Good work, Helen. Respect your man. This is 1957, or he may beat you. It's pretty sure that's how it went back then.
And also, I haven't done any flying for 10 years. So what you better do is get someone on this radio who can give
Is that Rex Kramer there with the suit on? Maybe I do understand why they picked this movie. I wonder if when this came out, it was like the shit. Like, was this what the movie everybody wanted to go and see at the time? Or was it kind of a joke back then?
Get every piece of emergency equipment you can reach. Alerted every mile of the way from here to the mountains. And I want every light you can get poured on that field. How about some coffee, Johnny? Strong.
Your office, line 4.
No thanks.
This guy doing the flying's had no airline experience at all. He'll be a menace to himself and everything else in the air. All right.
Birds, too.
Now, this is very important. Do you know where Captain Treleaven was going this evening?
Captain Treleaven, that's our Rex Kramer? Shaky legs? Is that the co-pilot? God, it looks like Channing Tatum. It probably doesn't, but with the bad footage, my bad eyes, I saw Channing Tatum. Could they not get a bigger windshield wiper? I mean, seriously.
All right, Harry, let's face a few facts. As you know, I flew with this man Stryker during the war.
Oh, he did fly with him in the war.
Ted Stryker was a crack flight leader up to a point, but he was one of those men who, well, let's just say, felt too much inside. Maybe you know the kind. Ate his heart out over every name on a casualty list.
Yeah, what an asshole, right? How dare he care about the people he led to their death?
But my feeling is that when the going gets really rough upstairs tonight, Ted Stryker's gonna fold up. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, I'm so glad they got Robert Stack to do that role.
Who's got the cigarettes?
Here.
He's not. He's not.
Yeah. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Let me know in the comments if you've ever been thrown into the dirt and kicked in the head with an iron boot. No, don't answer that. It's a dumb question. Skip that.
Stryker, this is Captain Martin Treleaven speaking. If you read me, go ahead.
Yes, Captain Treleaven. I read you loud and clear. Go ahead.
All right, it's obvious you remember me. But if you do what I tell you, when I tell you to do it, there's no reason you can't bring that plane in.
Let's not kid each other, Treleaven.
Flying is no different than riding a bicycle. It just happens to be something you never forget.
It's just a lot harder to put baseball cards in the spokes.
What kind of weather you in up there?
Rain.
And a little ice.
Is it going to be handling sluggish like a wet sponge?
How does she handle now, Stryker?
Sluggish. Like a wet sponge.
Yes!
Please, Mr. be calm.
The doctor will be here in a moment.
Stomach still hurt? Say, you know, Patty's been asking about you.
Wasn't the doctor going to look after him?
He's just above the 3 green lights, and that needle should be in the green range.
3 green lights. The pressure's up.
Look at those green lights.
Tell him the gear and the flaps are down. She still handles like a wet sponge, only more so.
Double wet sponge references. Love it. The sweat. Of course the sweat is a... Look at this. Of course that's a thing that they took and made into a complete gag in Airplane. Oh my god.
I gotta get out of here.
What the hell? Why is there glass there? Get a hold of yourself.
Can't take much more of this. Johnny, how about some more coffee?
No thanks. Is there a horse in bed with her?
Yes, I'll be there right away.
By the way, if the doctor walks in and says, I just want to wish you both good luck, we're all counting on you, I may fall out of my chair.
We have apartment buildings here, there, and there. Actually, what we'll have to do is alert the entire area.
Why does he have an eye
So
patch?
contact all fire departments, emergency equipment, the...
Again, I'm shocked that Airplane did not feature some random guy with an eye patch. Or did it? I don't think it did. I can't think of one.
We're ready to roll either way.
Oh my god.
Bad news. The fog's getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger. Fun fact, Johnny's lines were improvised in Airplane.
Won't let me go!
All right, leave her to me.
Calm down!
Now listen to me. Listen! Calm down. Relax.
Fun fact, the scene where everybody lines up and slaps that woman in Airplane was the idea of the lady getting slapped. And the second Leslie Nielsen slap was unexpected, apparently.
I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone.
As soon as the fog lifts, we'll bring you in.
I'll take it, Ellen.
No dice, Vancouver.
No dice, Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's 100 to 1 anyway.
I know, but it's his ship now, his command.
The head honcho, the big cheese.
Your husband and the others are alive, but unconscious. Now, there's a good
Why
chance
are they
we can
bringing
save them
her
if
into
Stryker
this
can get
at
this
this
plane
point?
down in time.
That is incredibly random,
That isn't
just from a
really much of a
storytelling
chance,
perspective.
is it?
It's the only one we've got.
Was it just so we could see her in her borderline lingerie in the bed before? Is that it?
I just want to tell you both good luck. I'll keep your son with me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doctor.
What the hell did he say?
I just want to tell you both good luck. I'll keep your son with me.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh,
Doctor.
I'll keep your son with me. Well, where has he been for the most of this flight? Doctor, whatever your name is. Luckily he didn't say we're all counting on you, because... flipping on this chair. Luckily I was just confused by the second line.
Put out all the runway lights except number 9.
Love it. I love it. That's a straight up... They just copied that shot. That's so cool.
Stryker, you're coming in too fast. I know.
He knows.
You're coming in too fast. Now he's down.
Crazy camera angle there.
Stryker, you all right? Ted, that was probably the lousiest landing in the history of this airport.
Some
of
gentleman
us
here
particularly me,
would like to buy you a drink.
would like to buy you a drink and shake your hand.
Shake your hand. Ever know what it feels like to be kicked in the head with an iron boot? That's one of my favorite lines of that movie. Oh, good lord. I can't believe what I just saw. That was such a friggin' delight to watch. It just makes me love Airplane even more, because with the context of this as well, this is such a... Again, I'm curious to know if this is like a notoriously bad movie and that's why they took it, or if it was like a semi-successful one and they just thought they could turn it into a comedy. Because seeing the dialogue that they plucked out of this word for word and just kind of copy-pasted into Airplane, which, by the way, I grew up calling it Flying High. That's what it was called in Australia, but now with streaming services everywhere calls it Airplane. But so much random stuff from this movie that just got chucked into that, and then with all the other jokes that they added into it. Again, there was some stuff that happened in this movie, like the sock puppet, the little hand puppet thing. I don't know why they didn't try and include that. And there was something else that I mentioned at some point throughout the movie as well. But this was something else. If you're watching this, you're obviously a fan of the movie Airplane, so I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And let me know in the comments your favorite Airplane, but let me know literally everything and anything you want to talk about in relation to this movie, because I love it. I could talk about it all day, and I very well may end up doing that at some point on some sort of televised quiz show. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you for joining me on this very different reaction. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel a little bit more and get early access to some stuff. And as always, everyone, I just want to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you.